We'll travel the globe in search of endless possibilities. We're kicking it with the Christian. Together we'll conquer it all. Take the highs with the lows, cause there's no losing with this energy. We're kicking it with the Christians.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hustle
Stop playing.
Squad.
Hustle Squad.
Oh my God. Welcome back to
Welcome.
another episode.
One marriage.
Two hustlers.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
So, what you been up to?
What I've been up to? All the usual.
Oh my God. What's the usual? Why do
Isolating.
people say that?
Isolating and working. What I do best.
Isolation brings elevation for sure.
I hope so.
If it don't, that's on you.
But babe, I've always been this way though. It's nothing.
Oh, okay.
I'm always elevating.
Oh, okay.
But for some reason, I rush myself. And so I don't know why we live in a hustle culture. Even though this is One Marriage, Two Hustlers.
Come on.
But we've already explained why we chose the
Let's
name.
go.
So anyway, we live in a hustle culture where we feel like we got to do everything fast. And we got to always constantly be grinding, or we're not being successful. And that's not true, because I feel like you can move at a nice pace and do stuff with fidelity.
Come on.
And it will last longer and you will get further than trying to do a million things at one time, overworking yourself, not really executing anything fully.
Talk to the people, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
So I just feel like we got to stop this, that if I'm not working two jobs, if I'm not grinding nonstop, I'm not working hard enough. That's the dumbest thing we've ever could have been taught.
Damn.
It's like, if I take my time and I perfect certain things and I'm working at certain things, everything else is going to be even easier to accomplish.
Come on.
Once I take the time to do it. And so, like, just, you don't always have to be in a rush. You don't always have to be like, I gotta go. Like, relax, work on 2 or 3 things, get those done, then go to the next one. Like, we don't always have to be constantly on go.
Let's
chill. To be effective.
And let's settle down, hey, because that's what I want to do. So listen, when I hear you say that, I say, in my mind, I'm thinking, a hustler, do you want to always be a hustler, or do you want to be a strategist? Because this is crucial. A hustler, because of course, a hustler is somebody who get up every day like, I gotta go get it, this and this. A strategist understands that he playing chess, not checkers.
So I think you have to be a strategic hustler.
Okay.
So you have to be a hustler with a plan. But also, too, you don't have to be a hustler in a rush.
Okay.
Because I think people equate the word hustle to rush. Like, I gotta hurry, I gotta go. And me, in my mind, that's not how
That's how you operate?
Envision the word.
I got you. So, today's topic
is the topic that everybody's been talking about. It's all over the internet.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, this no Diddy stuff. Like, you know, the man didn't have a chance, because once Cassie came out,
they killed him.
It kind of died down, but then all the other stuff came with it. And these are all allegations. Like, all the stuff that we're going to talk about today.
Why he ain't in jail yet?
Are allegations. Okay, we're not saying none of this stuff is true.
Yes.
And so that's a good question. It's like, if you had all this evidence, why isn't he locked up? Why is someone even allowed to accept a monetary amount of money?
And still have to work with you.
To just be like, okay, we're squashing it, we're not going to court about it, when they've done something illegal. Like, why is it legal for you to pay somebody off and basically say, it's done with?
We're in a culture that somebody who has power, they have power, and whatever they done, because I'm not one to accuse nobody of anything, and people feel like, yeah, you should you shouldn't do all that. You shouldn't. And it's some women. I'm about to go somewhere because it might offend some people. It's some women been through worse stuff that Cassidy, all these people saying that they done, and they still with the men.
Right.
They still with the man.
Mm-hmm. But I think they're not in the public eye. So it doesn't matter. You know, they're still with the guy, great. But at the end of the day, when you're in the public eye, you have a different type of weight.
That's true.
When you have a certain status, you have a different type of weight on your shoulder. When you start to have access to different people that have money and you have money, like everything changes, the weight, the pressure. You just can't now I fully understand why growing up in the Black church we were taught that when you're different, when you have a calling on your life, because I feel like celebrities have a calling because they are leading people.
That's true.
When you have this thing about you that makes you different, the weight and the pressure of the world is different.
So hold on. So you got ain't no celebrity leading me, but you got celebrity leading you though.
I'm saying they are leading people. I didn't say me. I said they're leading people.
I got you.
Because they have their followers. They have their fans. Those are people that they're leading. People look up to them.
Of course.
They idolize them. That's what I'm saying.
I got you.
And it's true. You have people that worship the ground that celebrities walk on. That's just the reality of it. Or maybe they look at them and they see something that they aspire to do and they kind of like look at how they're doing it.
That's true.
And they're role models whether they want to be or not. Whether they're good role models or bad role models. They are in the public eye. And so the weight of what's expected of them is different.
And that's why Charles Barkley got accused. Because he said, I don't care what y'all saying, even though I'm playing sports, I'm nobody role model. And they was saying, well, yes, if you playing sports, you are. Because you are. But he said, I'm not. And
that's how he felt.
Yeah. And he said, don't follow me. Because I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
That's like giving a disclaimer, though. Like, disclaimer, I'm not perfect, so don't look up to me. But somebody's still going to look up to you.
Of course.
At the end of the day, somebody's like, I want to do, man, I love what she's doing. So, I mean, he can have his opinion. That's great. Because he's letting people know, like, if I do something wrong and you do it,
that's on you.
It's on you. So I get that. I get where he's coming from. And his opinion is valid. But I feel like when you're in the public eye, it's just different. Like, things are different for you. It's going to cost you more.
Of course.
Did you see, and this is a little bit off topic, but did you see Rod Wave when they mistakenly took him to jail last week?
That was dumb.
So they mistakenly took him to jail, you know.
Saying he got a felony
these
and all this.
These are white cops in Florida. They didn't know who he was. So they took him to jail, mistaken identity, right? They thought he had a warrant. No, they thought he was a felon. He had a gun.
Yeah.
But they thought he was a felon. I'm assuming he didn't have. And this is not the first time Rod Wave got stopped by the cops, because I'm assuming he lives in a predominantly white neighborhood. God. And he looks. If y'all know Rod Wave, he's like a big teddy bear, but he looks like, what you doing over here? And, you know, he driving around in his nice car. So of course they stopped him, and he probably didn't have his concealed handgun license. Anyway, long story short, they mistaked him for somebody else.
Crazy.
Yeah, they took him to jail. So he gets to the jail, gets processed, and one of the jailers that's working, she knows who he is, a black lady. She's taking pictures with him. And so when they figure it all out, they let him out or whatever, and his team put out a statement. But it's just like, everybody's like, oh yeah. People are in the comments like, man, how much is it? We need to get Rod out. We need to get him out. Like, his fans came. I mean, he has fans, y'all. Like, a lot of them. And so they were like, what we gotta do to get him out? But it was all a mistake. But I say all that to say is, like, people are watching, people look up to you, they love you, they idolize you. And so I think you just have to be careful about who you invite to your house, number one. And so we're going back to P. Diddy now. Who you have around you, what type of parties you have, all this stuff. But if you're doing anything wrong,
but what happened to
it's gonna come
innocent until proven guilty? It's like you automatically guilty, and people go crazy.
Well, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it hasn't died down. Because usually by now everything would have been died down. But these motherfuckers trying to get clout.
Yeah, they
are coming out the woodwork, celebrities, rapper, like all these people are coming out, people we don't know, people that don't want to show their face. Anybody at this moment can say anything about P. Diddy and they're going to believe it.
Yep.
Because we have a bunch of bandwagon people, and that's just how the world works. And it's crazy that the man can't even go out with his kids without people attacking him.
Crazy.
And it's our own people.
It's us.
It's our black people.
It's
like
us.
you never see white people go crazy
Never.
about Donald Trump, and they don't go crazy about
Donald Trump.
I mean, look how long they covered up for the Playboy Mansion dude.
That's what I'm saying.
He's dead, and his just now coming out. Like, really, Elvis Presley. Like, these are all people that have museums and shit. Like, what? Like, we're just different. And I think as a culture, we have to do better. And I'm not taking up for Diddy because I don't know what he did, what he didn't do. I wasn't there. So all of this stuff is allegedly, but you have people who
Going hard, man.
women, like, because you've
Crazy.
been raped or because something happened to you, it's like a trigger and you're going crazy about something that you really don't know. It could be true. It could not be true because you really don't know people's pure intentions.
Man, that's good.
Some people will do anything for money.
That's good. And I think I just think that we are in a culture. We're in a state of mind that you automatically guilty, and then people. The thing about social media. This is why I like to use social media to make money versus just on social media.
Drama.
All this drama, because it's like everybody got something to say, and it's like I mean, and some people, they love it because they see a rich man that's just going down. They are enjoying this moment to say, yeah, he deserves this. I'm like, there people going. I'm like, bro, this is why I said the richer I become, the more hidden I gotta become. Like, you ain't gonna even see me in public that much because this is what it is.
And it's like, I know he probably feels this way. The people that were closest to you even are turning their backs on
Everybody.
you because they're like, I gotta protect me. I gotta protect my brand, and I get it. But at the end of the day, everybody needs somebody. And I just feel like people aren't really. I seen one person, which was Stevie J, like really standing up for Diddy
I seen that.
and saying something. But it's like there's very few people that say anything.
But then 50 Cent said, they gay. I'm like, y'all doing too much,
and I'm
man.
just like, okay, you had your opinion about
Yeah.
it. He can have his opinion. If his
Of
opinion is
course.
positive, let him have his positive opinion. Even when Floyd Mayweather said that he would never bash him, he didn't want to speak on it. People took that out of context.
Of course.
And it's like, dang, if I have a positive opinion, I get bashed.
People don't want to hear that.
If I have a negative opinion, y'all gonna jump on the bandwagon.
They loving
And
it.
it's like people are so negative. Like it's cringy to get on the internet. And I haven't posted in about a couple weeks because I'm just like first of all, I'm trying to really just get back because we were sick. We were sick, y'all. It's crazy. We went on a little trip, came back sick. So that happened. And then just trying to figure out, what type of content I want to put out there because you get so cloudy when you're looking around and seeing what people are posting because it's all negative.
It's negative.
And, it's like you're trying to put the positive vibes out there.
I'm going to continue doing it. I don't care what they talking
But
about.
people are so negative. I'm going to continue doing it. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is sometimes, especially when you're creating content, you just have to get back into that creative space.
Yeah, that's cool.
Of figuring out what type of content you want to produce. I'm never going to let somebody stop me from creating and being positive because I don't like negativity. Like, I don't really like all the drama, the Instagram. All the girls now are doing that challenge, which is cool. They having fun.
What
That's
challenge?
great. The Megan Thee Stallion, the little twerk challenge.
Oh, okay.
But it's like everybody likes to jump on bandwagons with everything.
Of course.
And that stuff can be overwhelming. So
It's crazy.
just try to limit your time on social media because social media is just going in a whole new. Every day is something different. And it's drama, and people spend so much time invested in other people's lives that they forget about their own.
Man. So there's, in the No Diddy situation, there's three things that I learned. Number one, the first thing I learned is it doesn't matter when you're on a certain level, people will automatically judge you no matter what. They're gonna judge you. They're gonna speak on it. And to me, if it was just so egregious or whatever they're talking about, the man would have been locked up quick. So maybe they building. But when they really found hard evidence on R. Kelly, they took him to jail. They wasn't playing no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the second thing I learned in this is the more, whether I become famous or not, but rich is what it is. The more richer I become, the less likely you will probably see me in person, unless you come to my studio. Like, less likely you'll probably even see me. So straight up, don't invite me to no events. I'm not really interested. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, the more richer I become, because I don't like this allegation stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big fan of, oh, they said this, oh, he bumped me, oh, I'm suing. You know what I'm saying? Like, people told John Laurent, remember they say he fought that teenage dude? He just filed a complaint back on him saying, hey, I was, mind you, I'm a little older. He's not too far from a teenager either. But the dude attacked him, so he filed a complaint back and said, hey, you know what I'm saying? Now, the dude, really, he don't even want John Laurent to go to jail. Guess what he want? Money. So I'm like, that's the stuff that I be so afraid of. It's like,
people are really just coming after people for their money, and they feel like, oh, well, you don't deserve it. And it's like, why?
You work hard for it.
Hard to get to where they are, and it doesn't matter if you agree with how they handle their money or the lifestyle they live. It's like, who are you to say they don't deserve it?
So the last
or to
thing,
try to come for it.
The last thing I learned in this whole PDD thing too is be careful who you call your friends. Because who you call your friend sometimes might not even be your friend. And sometimes you outgrow your friends. Your expectations of where you at in life, if you haven't spoken to this friend in a while, you have probably outgrown them. And I say outgrown them doesn't mean you better than them. You're probably just not at where they're at right now. And that is okay. People need to know that's okay.
Yeah.
Because everybody want to hold on. That's my childhood friend. I've been knowing them forever. You've been knowing them for who they was, not to who they grew to. And that's two different things. Is we grew up like this, but who I've grown to today, I'm a whole nother person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people still want to hold you into who they think you are, not to who you really are.
Yeah, and I think that's friends and family, though. Family is the worst at that. Because,
Okay.
I mean, they've known you since you were pretty much a baby. And so they feel like, oh, I know how he is, or I know how she is. And it's like, no, that person probably could have evolved into a whole different person.
Man,
but because
talk about it.
They were that way growing up, or you've known them for X amount of years, you feel like, oh, that's just so-and-so, or oh, that's just how they are, or I know how they are, and that's not necessarily always the case. Yeah, so I do feel like you definitely you outgrow people. You definitely outgrow people. Now, another thing I'm thinking, because this is just me always thinking on the other side of this P. Diddy thing, it's like, if somebody sat there and made this sick shit up that they saying for some money, like, you're really sick.
No, man.
Like, the stuff that they're saying, like, to think of stuff like that, like, if you really just made that up, like, what normal person just makes that type of stuff up?
And then I don't really like the part
That's crazy.
that now his son, somebody coming out with his, oh yeah, like daddy, like son. I'm like,
but
what
see,
are y'all
what I
doing?
love most is that his son's moms, they not playing. They coming with their own lawyers. Like, no, you're not going to attack my kid because that's not right. Because they can't be held accountable if their dad did do something. I don't know. I like the statement that she put out. She said, look, I don't know. I don't have nothing to do with that. But what I do know is that y'all mishandled my child and y'all will not tarnish his name and bash him for something that he don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's not right. She was like, that's their father. They respect their father. They love their father. But at the end of the day, it's not okay for them to have to pay for something that they have nothing to do with. And so she's like, we're lawyering up.
And
I definitely agree with that because that was crazy.
And then
Like
they showed they showed Diddy walking in Miami. First he was on his bike. All right. He was on his bike, him and Stephen J or whatever. Fans stopping. It was like, oh, he's fortunate to have fans. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Second thing, he was in Miami at his house, somebody in a boat driving by. What's up, Diddy? In the comment, I'm a comment reader. In the comments, he needs to be fortunate. He needs to be hiding somewhere. I'm like, man, this dude.
So if you've been to Miami, they have boats out there, but you could go on the boat. If you have a boat, you could just go around because they call it like, what did they call it?
It's a celebrity boat tour.
So where they live, you get to literally go and see them in the back of their houses. You know,
and Diddy was walking around. It was like, "What's up, Diddy? What's up?" Diddy was like, "Hey, what's up?" Now me, I go straight to the comments. People are like, "Oh, he still got fans because he shouldn't have no fans." I'm like, "What is this? Why y'all accusing him? Like, let it happen. Whatever's gonna happen, let it happen.
And
like,
if it's proof out there, the proof gonna be out there. But it's like, again, we're so quick to just go with whatever somebody says with no evidence, no proof. And to be honest with you, that's why a lot of us find ourselves in certain predicaments in life.
Talk about it.
It's because you just go with whatever people tell you without doing your own research.
Talk about it.
And it's like, wow, you're not going to research it before you go do it? Oh, well, so-and-so said, well, you know, so-and-so. And this is how rumors get spread.
Crazy.
This is how all this stuff gets started, is because off of what allegedly happened. And my thing with the whole Cassie situation is like, you were with him for all that time.
Yep.
You left him. He wished you well. You know, I'm sure you could have asked him for anything because he always gave you credit when he received awards and things like that. My thing about that whole thing, you're in a whole marriage. You done moved on with your life. You done had a baby, and now you want to come back.
That's crazy.
And say all this stuff. Like now? Why now? Why? And I know somebody gonna attack me and say, it shouldn't matter. It's whenever you're ready to tell your truth. I get that. But at the end of the day, if I'm leaving you at that moment when I left you, I'm gonna let it all go.
First of all,
but why would you wait so much time? That's crazy.
They better be lucky I'm not in control of the law. Because if you don't file in 1 year, you're done. You can't file no more. If you don't file in 1 year, you done. You can't come back 10, 30, 40, 50 years later.
Yeah, I agree
if you don't file in 1 year of what all is done, you done. So whenever you want to speak your truth and it's 10 years later, just speak your truth. You didn't get nothing from it.
Yeah, I
Guess
agree.
what, though? People wouldn't speak their truth, though.
I agree.
Guarantee they wouldn't.
I agree.
They wouldn't even say. They wouldn't say a damn thing.
Up. Like, we need to encourage you guys to speak up sooner if it is happening. Like, why wait so long?
Yeah.
Because if it needs to happen, people need to know so that other people can know if it is happening.
Yes.
And just like not only just think about yourself, but think about other people, other little girls, other people that it can happen to. No, we make everything about us, and you know, when I felt like it was the right time, when it was the right time for me. But you know, sometimes we have to be selfless and stop being selfish.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. All right, so what are some other things you learned from this whole Diddy incident, though? Like, what's some?
I learned that kids really don't have choices.
Okay.
Because you can't choose your parents. And in the case of his girls, it's like they don't have their mom anymore. That's their only parent. And so looking at it from their point of view, they're teenagers. So I know they're hearing stuff at school.
Oh my God.
People are saying stuff, you know. I mean, I just couldn't imagine being in their shoes trying to handle it. So I know that it's difficult for them. And I know people say, well, they're rich, they have everything. But it's nothing like peace of mind.
Nothing.
Like, you can be rich and have everything, but if you're not at peace and you're mentally struggling and people are mentally beating you up. So what I'm praying is that they just have a great support system around them, because that can be difficult for a child.
It can be.
And especially after losing their mom less than it's been 2 years?
2 or 3 years.
And that's hard. And now people are saying all this bad stuff about your dad. You don't know how long he's gonna be around, if he's gonna be around, because how many people are in jail for somebody lying? I'm just saying,
true, though.
like, that's a lot of pressure for a teenager. And so I just learned that people forget about the kids.
Man,
When
they
they're
ain't thinking
saying
about
all
that.
these hateful things and just making all these comments, it's like, I get it and I understand it. But at the end of the day, like, nobody's thinking about them.
So why are we as Black people so quick to judge other people so quick? Like,
Because
I
most
noticed.
of us have nothing else to do.
Damn, don't say
very
that.
few of us that
Oh man, that's deep.
are successful in trying to. The percentage is low. Let's be clear.
Damn.
Of people that are actually like
That's true.
doing
Though.
well for themselves. The percentage is low. If you look at the poverty rate in the African American community,
Crazy.
it's high. It's very high.
So people get entertainment off of other people.
Yes. We see it all the time. So close to where our office is located, where our studio is you go like a few blocks down, you're gonna be in the hood, right? Because this is Houston. So like you can have a $1 million home and 2 streets over is the hood. That's just how it works. But it's like you can go and we go to stores and we're like, man, I asked him the other day, we were walking in the Walmart over here, and I'm like, babe, do you think all these people are off of work or they don't work? And then he was like, well, some people probably work nice, but I mean, a lot of these people don't look like they work.
People are stealing too, though. Don't get it twisted.
Not trying to say that, but again, looks can be deceiving though, because like I told him, this is the best Walmart I ever seen.
That Walmart is nice.
Y'all. And I'm talking about everybody in there know where everything at. Like, and it's in the hood.
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm saying. But I say all that to say it's like a lot of African Americans are living below the poverty line. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. But we live through other people because we can't
crazy.
afford the lifestyle.
That's deep.
A lot of us cannot afford the lifestyle. So you aspire to be like these people, but you spend your whole life right here. And
can't get out your own way.
You can't get out your own way. That guy said something earlier when we were watching this morning. We were listening to that episode. He said, you got to get rid of your stories and your excuses. You got to get rid of your stories and your excuses. That was powerful.
You preaching now, man. You preaching.
It's like we're in our stories and our excuses are in our way why we can't be successful and why we can't tap into who we were meant to be.
And the crazy part is like people who go to church and all this stuff, you be thinking that they belief system be high, but it really be like at like they cap God off
because the foundation is not there.
Okay.
So I've been talking about this for a couple weeks now. He probably tired of me talking about it, but I'm just being like, babe, how we grew up, the kids now aren't growing up like that. And unfortunately, there's some adults who are in their 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s who didn't grow up like we grew up. And I said, I hated it then. Like, I hated going to church during the week. I hated it. But I thank God for the foundation. And of course, it wasn't perfect. My church experience wasn't perfect. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's human. And so when people tell me something about church, I'm like, tell me something else, because they doing that over here too. So it's the same thing. Like, it's always going to be issues. But at the end of the day,
that's true.
I'm happy that I had the foundation, because I feel like it made me stronger and it made me know who I had access to. So it made me know my power.
Ooh, that's good.
And so I feel like people are walking around lost. They're broken. They're hurt. They're confused because they don't have a foundation of, I can tap into this higher power.
Come on.
And tap into who I am.
Come on.
And become the best version of me. People
good.
don't have that. Kids don't have that because their parents don't have it, and they're not raising them to have it.
That's crazy.
They're raising them to only go to church on Easter. They're raising them that Easter is about eggs and crawfish. Like, kids don't know nothing.
Oh my God.
You got very few kids that still going to church saying Easter speeches. Like, we grew up, we had a speech for Christmas and Easter.
You better say that speech too.
We had to go to vacation Bible school for at least 1 week of our summer. Like, there was just some things we had to do, and we didn't have a choice.
You got to go do what you got to do.
Try to argue back with your mama. You was going there.
You was going.
It wasn't, I don't remember ever being asked, hey, do you want to go to vacation Bible school?
No.
Now, parents are like, hey, do you want to, hey, what you, like, what? Like, some stuff we had to do.
Yeah, you
so I
gotta
feel
do.
like our work ethic is different. Our grind is different. When something's expected of us, we gonna execute it. We're gonna meet those expectations, or at least we're gonna try to meet
that's
those
good.
expectations or supersede those expectations. But people have no expectations for themselves, so of course they don't have none for their kids. And then they grow up and they have kids, and it's the same thing. That's why you see this cycle, this generational curse. But I've always thought that I was a little wiser than the people around me.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
I have.
Oh Lord.
And so I was just like, I feel different. And so I always tried to move different.
Oh Lord.
Like, I'm taking some of the stuff y'all gave me,
She
but I'm not
different.
taking everything.
Yeah, she different.
And so that's how we have to be. But unfortunately, people just don't have the mental power to do that.
Listen, man, I hope we served you guys some juicy stuff on the platter. Listen, no Diddy, or you can do Diddy.
What?
Nothing. No. So this conversation.
Oh, Lord,
no,
help us,
listen.
Lord.
This conversation was good though, because I just think that the Black community, we need to. As much as I'm gonna say this, as much people hate Donald Trump, don't white people supporting Donald Trump, man.
They support him.
I'm telling you right now, they support them. Donald Trump needs to come up with $20 million. He got that money.
Oh, yeah,
he
it's
needs to come
coming.
up with $176 million.
It's not.
He got
First
that
of
money.
all, it's not enough of us out here that's Black, that's rich, that has money. And so the ones that do have it,
But they don't want to see
it's
them
like,
with it. They don't want to
it's
see
so
them
many
with it.
people at the bottom that they just want to pull them down so bad. And it's like, nah, bro. I
Listen.
see y'all at the top.
Listen, we finna leave y'all with this. We see y'all at the top because too many people.
At the bottom, it's way too crowded. Peace.
Peace.
You're kicking it with the Christians. You're kicking it with the Christians. One marriage, two hustlers, it shows. We'll travel the globe in search of endless possibility. You're kicking it with the Christians. Together we'll conquer it all. Take the highs with the lows, 'cause there's no losing with this energy. You're kicking it with the Christians.